When this incident occurred, I was a senior in high school. My school was located in a quiet area near the outskirts of the city. I had never been a very diligent student, just an average one. With the end of high school approaching, most of our grades had already been finalized, so I found myself skipping many classes and hanging out with friends in our usual spot at the back of the school. On that day, everything started like any ordinary day. I had my favorite history class, and I didn't want to miss it, so I decided to attend. About 5 minutes into the class, my favorite teacher still hadn't arrived. Soon, the principal entered the classroom and announced that our history teacher couldn't come to school that day due to illness, and a substitute teacher would be taking over for the day. After the principal left, feeling a bit crowded, I decided to go to the restroom. After taking care of business in the restroom, I wanted to play a game on my phone. However, an unexpected announcement from the principal shook the entire school. Lockdown alert. Please follow lockdown procedures. Go to the nearest room or building, close the door and turn off all lights, echoed through the speakers. At that moment, sitting in the closed restroom, I didn't pay much attention to this warning. However, all the lights inside the school suddenly went out. The air became heavy, and a power outage enveloped the school. I sensed that something was wrong. The principal made another announcement, this time with a serious tone. Just then, footsteps running in the corridors and warnings from the speakers were heard. It was announced that someone was roaming inside the school, possibly posing a threat. I learned from my friend's messages on my phone that a middle-aged man had entered the school with a knife, attempting a robbery, and he was now hiding somewhere in our school. Soon I heard someone approaching the restroom where I was hiding. The restroom door opened quietly and I asked, "Hey, who's there?" At first I didn't get a response. The person seemed to be in a state of panic. After about 20 seconds he replied, "I'm just trying to hide." I was very scared because I had never heard this voice before. The restroom door was slightly ajar and I was trying to observe the person from there. The man was middle-aged, someone I had never seen in the school before. I started to think, and there were two possibilities. He was either the new substitute history teacher or the criminal. My heart began to beat rapidly with fear. At first, I didn't know what to do. Then I quickly ran to my classroom. I told my class teacher that I was hiding in the restroom and that there was another person there, a middle-aged man. My teacher instructed me to inform the police in the corridor. I explained everything to the police and they rushed to the restroom at the back of the school. Soon, the police found the middle-aged man, and I couldn't wait to see who the culprit was. After seeing the person the police arrested, my heart stopped for a few seconds. I was in shock. The person arrested by the police was the same person I had seen in the restroom. The thought that he could have attacked me while I was in the restroom chilled my blood. For days I couldn't stop thinking about the incident, and the memory of that moment in the restroom lingered in my mind. It was about 2 or 3 years ago. The COVID virus had started and schools were closed. I had just graduated from university and was a new teacher. For 5-6 months, we conducted classes online. One evening, I received an email from the school principal stating, "Due to the decrease in the virus, everyone needs to return to school tomorrow." I was very excited because it was the first time I would be teaching in person. When I told my mom about the situation, she was thrilled and insisted that I call her after my first class to let her know how it went. The first 3 classes went better than I expected, and it seemed like the big break was finally here. So I went to the school cafeteria to grab a snack. After eating, I was planning to go to the teacher's lounge, but an unexpected announcement from the principal shook the entire school. "Lockdown alert. Please follow lockdown procedures. Go to the nearest room or building. Close the door and turn off all lights," echoed through the school. I generally knew what to do during a lockdown alert, but being a new teacher without much experience, I panicked, so I locked myself in the nearest storage room in the cafeteria. It wasn't pitch dark. I could see who was passing by through the slight gap in the closet. Soon, the main door of the cafeteria opened. At first, I thought the police had arrived, and I felt a bit relieved. However, it was not as I expected. A woman's voice shouting uncontrollably and banging on doors was indistinctly audible. She was opening the adjacent closets one by one, and I could see who passed through the gap. My heart was pounding, and I started silently crying out of fear. The woman finally approached my closet, holding a knife and screaming like mad. I witnessed her trying to open my closet, and I was pulling it tightly towards myself. As she was about to open my closet, a sound of something breaking came from the opposite direction. The crazy woman slowly moved towards that sound. Just then, the worst thing that could happen occurred. My phone started ringing, and it was my mom calling. I quickly hung up, but it was too late. The deranged woman with a knife in hand started screaming even louder and tried to open my closet. I was pulling the closet towards myself with all my strength. Unable to do anything to escape, I was helplessly waiting for someone to come and rescue me from this woman. Just when I thought I couldn't hold on any longer, the police arrived and incapacitated the woman. Later, I learned from the police that the woman had escaped from a mental hospital. The impact of this incident still lingers on me, and I believe it's something I can't forget. Yes, dear horror enthusiasts, don't forget to follow for more horror stories.